Hello, welcome to Movie Musters. PowerBook IV, Force exclusive picture clip. The Chicago drug trade will be severely disrupted by Walter Flynn's passing. The Flynn family controlled a sizable portion of that metropolis for a very long time. But things changed, and Walter was falling out of favor when he passed away. Now that Walter Flynn is gone, his opponents will try to change the course of events. Fortunate enough to obtain an exclusive clip from PowerBook IV, Force Season 2 Episode 6 as we formally approach the second half of the season. It makes us question if Claudia was an actress in a previous life. Claudia looked like she was crying on cue, like it was her job, so someone run her an Oscar. She shed tears when necessary. But when she was with her recently deceased father, she was very clear about her feelings about him and his passing. Although Claudia was the one who was most determined to kill Walter, seeing her act with such little guilt was both startling and predictable. She made numerous attempts to convince him of her worth, but it was never sufficient. And she seized the chance to assume the role of leader that she believed was hers. However, Vic's death during PowerBook wasn't as satisfactory as she had intended. Therefore, Walter's passing didn't strengthen her position as leader of the Flynn organization. Speaking of Vic, we'll get our first peek at what he has planned this hour, as they will undoubtedly be pursuing him to gather information that will lead to Tommy and numerous others' downfall. Vic struck a deal with the FEDs. With Walter and Claudia, Vic has been more of an outsider, so it will be intriguing to watch how he re-engages with Tommy and whether Tommy will be wary. What else is new during this action-packed hour? Tommy will have a lot on his plate. With his hectic schedule, it's a wonder the man gets any sleep or eats at all. He's always running from one activity to another. In addition to Vic, he has to deal with Diamond's invitation for Gennard to return to CBI. And that seems to scream disaster from every angle. Even though it's obvious to Stacy and the audience that Vic Flynn doesn't want to genuinely screw Tommy up. He made his bed and now has to lie in it. However, he would eventually have to, and eliminating Vargas only expedited the process. Vic was a minimal informant, providing the FEDs with just enough details to bolster their case, but far from providing them with any conclusive evidence. Stacy could use all of her influence to get Vic to accuse Tommy when she caught him lying, regardless of whether his statements were fact or not. Stacy will now seem as though she is about to surprise Tommy with some news, but she is unaware that Tommy has now been informed about the rat, and there is no way in which he will not call Vic the traitor right away. Tommy is naturally skeptical, but Vic could be the culprit. Though Tommy is equally wary of Gennard and Claudia, Vic did a great job of assigning guilt to them, and he wasn't with them both the times Vargas was sniffing around. After the murder, Tommy was seeing what was in front of him. But after learning more and having more time to reflect, Gennard's decision to visit the FEDs would make about as much sense as Tommy's. Especially if Gennard is a lot of things and we know he's actively working to discredit Tommy in another way. He shouldn't report Tommy to the police, especially if doing so means ending his life. It seemed unreal to hear Tommy essentially tell Gennard that he was fortunate that Tommy had allowed him to rejoin CBI, as if Gennard hadn't spent his adult life assisting in the establishment of CBI as one of the largest crews in the city and Tommy hadn't arrived in town 17 seconds earlier. There will always be Tommy Egan with all the arrogance. Watching Tommy dance with all these individuals he knows don't care about him and he can't trust is really interesting. However, as long as they serve him well, and keeping them close by to assist him in reaching his goals. Does he realize how many people are aggressively pursuing him, even if he is aware that he cannot trust them? Although we are confident that Tommy can overcome even the most difficult circumstances, it is reasonable to be worried about him because he is attracting attention from a variety of sources and is unable to clear every obstacle. Miguel Garcia was so full of pride that it took a good look to see he was being duped. Tommy's betrayal had him covered. And before he had a chance to completely register that, Tommy chose to make small talk with his superiors. Tommy has done a fantastic job of maintaining a clear separation between his personal and professional relationships with Miguel and Mayria. Despite his concern for Mayria's feelings, he grabbed hold of her quinceanera information without hesitation. Tommy gave a compelling speech about his want to be truthful with Mayria and his desire to grow from his mistakes, but it didn't appear like he considered the potential consequences of his unexpectedly interrupting the celebration to discuss business. With Tommy, Mayria has had such highs and lows. She has sworn him off, but not really, and then seemingly fell in love with him all at once. But this is where it was always going to end, right? By now, she's made approximately 40 references about Miguel killing either one or both of them. But despite Tommy's assurances that everything will be alright, she has consistently folded. However, she must have felt inspired to leave the situation after spotting Tommy and Miguel together. Did she honestly believe Tommy wouldn't mind if Miguel was killed? I could understand her rage at Tommy, but I didn't completely get why she was shocked. If it came down to it, was Tommy expected to let the man kill him? Their entire arguments served to highlight how little Tommy and the other person actually know about one another thanks to the illusion he has created in his head. He had convinced himself that they could tell the world the truth and that he would shoot Miguel in the head if he resisted. And after that, he would lead a happy, long life with Mayria Garcia. Even with Mayria's conviction that Miguel would kill her in a minute, it was just never going to happen. She was never going to be the Miguel supporter. The reason Stacy didn't want to get connected with Tommy in the first place was because of her small drop by Mayria's. She's tried to avoid being engaged in Miguel's business, but now that she's involved with Tommy, she could find herself in a Rico. I didn't anticipate Mayria dropping the Lacacia bomb, and after doing some investigation, who knows what she might do next. Though I don't see Mayria turning on Tommy directly in any way. How profound are her feelings right away? Enough to let herself fully commit to a man who has already lost a number of women and shows no signs of wanting to end his life. Someone else who never goes away from life. Samson Diamond. I'm a self-confessed Diamond fan. Since his introduction, I've been drawn to his serene demeanor and subdued authority. Even while their relationship hasn't always been smooth sailing, it has nonetheless been one of the most thrilling aspects of the season. The subplot with Leon and Gianna is why I've complained. It just seems out of place in comparison to everything else. However, it was revealed in Power Book IV, 4th Season 2 Episode 7 that perhaps everything was being set up for a tragic conclusion. Now, it also taught Diamond something, or at least gave him his first opportunity to do more than just be the man he was before he was released from prison. When Reeves thanked him for his remarks and informed him that he had positively impacted someone's life, you could see the pride on his face. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.